Hi, today I'm going to show you how to bone and prepare a whole leg of pork. And this is a fantastic leg of pork. If you have a look, it's off an orchard pig. An orchard pig is where they've been raised to the highest welfare standard, and they are actually fed on the pulp from a cider mill. So it takes on a little bit of flavour of the apple. I mean, I did a video. If you have a look up there, you'll see the link. You know, it is some of the best pork in the 25 years I've been butchering I've worked with. And this is off a female pig, a gilt pig, as you can see. If this was a boar, there'd be more skin missing, obviously, you know, where the testicles have been and all that whatnot. This makes the best pork. So what I'm going to do, this weighs 8 kilos and I'm after a joint at 4 kilos. Now, what we'd normally do is we bone it all out and string it up. But when you've got something like this and 4 kilos, it's a hell of a joint. So what we're going to do, we're going to bone it out, we're going to break it down and seam a few bits out so we can get a more compact joint, you know, so it's not so big. Because there's nothing worse, I think, than when you've got a massive joint like that, I mean, and you can't even carve it and it spoils the whole thing. So what I'm going to do then is we're going to bone this out. First of all, this Aitch bone, just going to expose it by taking that lovely nugget of meat out. That'll go in sausages. It's an odd shaped bone, the Aitch bone, or the hip bone, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to just go in there, we're just gently following the bone around, just exposing it. Just keep your knife nice and tight. I mean, I've started using these curved flexi blades, you know, because you can get right in tight then. Just exposing in there the femur, the tip of the femur, and just go round and gently loosen it all off. You have to excuse my arm, and you're left with that lovely bone. Now the next thing, we're going to take the hock off. Now I've watched videos where they just cut the hock straight off. You haven't got to do that. You know, it's got specific places to cut. I think I'll move the camera around. Like I said, I just watched a video and, you know, it was a lady, she just cut it off and sawed through it. Well, if you do that, you're leaving a lot of bone on it. So what I'm going to do, one there, that was luck. That's where the hock joins the femur. Just gently wiggle it round, cut it off, and that's a great joint on its own. You roast that up, get it all crackled, skinned, fantastic. So we're left with the body of the leg. I'm just going to trim that up. Just going to go into some sausages. Right, let's get that little knuckle bone out. And you can see what I mean, you know, this started off at 8 kilos, I want 4. You can imagine once you've cooked that, how are you going to carve it when it's such a big thing? You know, you imagine that cut in half, and that is the joint I want. So basically, I'm going to do a cut, which I've been doing for quite a while now. Not many people do it, and that's removing one of the primal muscles from outside the leg. So I'm just tunnel boning this. Tunnel boning means you don't expose the meat. A lot of people just slash that open. It's a bit cowboy styly, you know. Tunnel boning, you get the bone out. It should look like that when it comes out. Spot on. Now, this, in the scheme of things, is what you would normally tie. You would tie that up, but what I'm going to do, I'm just going to nick the skin there, and I'm going to take out this muscle, which is called the flank, and you'll see what I'm getting at then. And we've just taken the size down then on that leg. We're left with what would be the top side and the silver side, and now we can roll that up. You will have a nice compact So we'll score it. For your crackling, must have crackling. Beautiful, beautiful pork this is. And like I said, fed on those pulp from the cider. That special little touch. Just gonna have a look inside, trim out any of this sinew, because you don't want to cut into that and be eating that. And then you should tie her up with my fail-safe butcher's knot. Beautiful. I should get him to tie this down. You can see that knot. So you get your knot. See that knot? 2 pieces of string to the left. Hold it, make a loop round the thumb, through the top. Job's a good one. And that'll hold back a steam train. And obviously I'm going to get a nice joint out of this. I've got that flank I took out, make a nice little roast. And obviously what's left of this you can use as a joint, or you can bone it out. Some steaks. Yeah, I might even make some pork burgers. Right there, it's all nicely tied up. Give me a knife sharper. Turn this over and I'm going to slice straight down the back of that top side. And there we end up with our fantastic leg joint. As you can see, that is a stunning solid joint, nicely tied, nicely scored. That'll carve nicely now. What a stunner. Right, for these bits then, that flank I took off, as you can see, that would make a nice little joint, but I'm going to just cut some steaks off, use some diced for a casserole, maybe Somerset pork, which is casserole with cider, you know, whatever, kebabs. It's too good for sausages. And you know what I mean, the weather's getting better, not everybody wants to be roasting meat, so I'll get me some steaks out of that. And I'll just nip the skin off this and get some steaks out of this piece as well. So you know, I bought this whole leg, got my joint. Obviously the skin won't be wasted, can be crackled, but I've got some nice steaks. And then what's left, like I said, for kebabs, we should dice up using a casserole, whatever. Mince it, pork mince, not used very much. So here's what we're left with then. Got the lovely diced pork, some beautiful lean, skinless, boneless steaks, that lovely hock, and the star of the show is that stunning leg joint. And look at that, you know, it's a solid joint, that is, beautifully scored, beautifully tied. I mean, this is going to be eaten for a family meal, but you know, cut it in half, it'd be fantastic. And please find me on Twitter at TheScottReaProject. If you ever want to ask any questions, feel free, I will answer them if I can. So I hope you enjoyed watching that. I mean, as you know, all my subscribers, old and new, I love working with products like this. And you know, make sure you check on that link at the start and have a look when I butchered the whole pig. So thanks for watching, see you again.